This week we will talk about indie hacking, and we have a special guest today, Pauline. Pauline is a data science manager and a consultant at IBM, where she has worked for 8 years. She's also an indie hacker and is working on a few side hustles in crypto and generative AI. And one of her latest projects allows uploading a few selfies, and it generates a lot of cool and stylish pictures. And I use this service too. So welcome, Pauline.
Hi, and I'm glad to be invited here. I don't see anyone, but I guess there's some people.
Yeah, let me just open, I'll open YouTube from my phone, so I make sure I don't miss any questions. So today I didn't create a Slido link because we were late and I was struggling with Zoom. So today you put all the questions. If you have any questions during today's conversation, please put them in the live chat and I will be covering these questions. And also the questions for today's interview were prepared by Johanna Bayer. Thanks, Johanna, for your help. And now let's start. Before we go into our main topic of indie hacking, let's start with your background. Can you tell us about your career journey so far?
Yeah, sure. So I started as an engineer, and when I studied engineering at school, but at this time, 8 years ago, data science was very new, so there wasn't any courses about it. Just one in France actually, but I wasn't in this school. And I applied to IBM because it was my dream to work there. And it was a match. I was accepted. So I started as a junior data scientist, but as I didn't learn it before because there wasn't any lesson, I learned by myself. And then I became a senior consultant in data science 2 years later. And it's been 3 or 4 years. I'm a manager now. And aside of this, I am an indie hacker from my beginning this year. It's been a year, actually, more or less exactly 1 year. And but we will tell more about it in this interview.
Okay, so your first job after graduating was IBM, and you're still at IBM.
I'm still at IBM, yes.
That's very impressive. Like, people usually don't stick around for that long at one company.
Yes, I know.
You must like your job really well. Like, you must like it a lot.
Yes, I like it indeed.
So what do you do as a data consultant at IBM?
When you are a data consultant, it means I work in data science area, but for various clients. I work from project to project. A project is a mission. It can last 1 month or 4 years, for example. I think my shortest mission lasted 1 month, and the longer one 2 years. So it really depends. And I see various clients, various domains. I'm not specialized in business, in a special business. So I work in banks, aerospatial, automotive, and also on different data science context, which can be like predict sales or explainability models. So yeah, it's a whole. I'm not specialized, and it's a choice actually.
So the way it works is a customer approaches IBM, says, hey, I have this kind of project. Give us some people to work on this project. And you, along with your team, you join the client and you work with them on a particular project, right?
Yes, exactly. Usually I'm working on a team, and there is like 2 or 4 data scientists I'm working with. And I'm more in the managing part now, but I can also do the models and help by coding, usually in Python most of the time.
What do you do as a managing partner? What kind of responsibilities do you have?
I'm not a partner, but
as managing consultant, right? Or
yes, as manager, you ensure that the models are created, that it fits the client's needs. You also you are also the relation between the clients and the team. Like I can present the results, what we achieved, what is in the roadmap, that kind of tasks.
Okay, yeah, interesting. And I don't know if you can discuss that, but maybe if you can, what are some interesting projects that you worked on at IBM?
Yes, I won't name the clients, but I worked for 2 years to detect some laundry money, and
What is
that
that?
was laundry money.
Yeah.
Lo-
Laundering, money laundering. Okay.
yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry, I know it's also, but yeah, and it was very interesting because I had to think as a person that can do money laundering, and so I have the like they say, okay, I have this data, what can I do? And I was working on 2 years past data, so I had to build in team, not just me, a model, a system to detect yeah, strange behavior, let's say.
So how can you think as a money launderer?
But first, there is some patterns that are famous. Like I don't know, you do some sport bet, and you say, okay, I think it's a tennis match, for example, Nadal Federer, and you say, okay, Nadal is will win, and you also bet that Federer will win. So in the end, you will have spend some money on both. So of course you will lose money, but the aim is not to for someone who want to do money laundry. He doesn't want to earn money, but to lose the less possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a nice strategy.
Yeah, and what was interesting is that I started to frame the project, and I see it until the end, the deployment part. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's all quite interesting, and I want to ask more, but that's not the main topic today, right? So the main topic today is what you started 1 year ago. As you said, it's indie hacking. So
Yeah.
maybe can you tell us what indie hacking actually is?
Anti-hacking is when you are building projects. I'm not sure if this is the exact definition, but it's to build projects and to monetize them. So without any funding, like what was famous before, because I think this is a new trend. What was famous before is you have a project, you do a pitch deck, and you are trying to find investors to invest fund in your company. But I don't do this. I build with another friend. We are three actually, but two of us build it, and the other one help us with administrative and legal. And yes, we build this at on our free time. So we don't have any pressure. We launch when we can. Like we wanted to launch something this week, but it will be delayed. But
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. We don't have any pressure. Nobody knows about it. So yeah, that's my definition.
Mm-hmm. So basically, during daytime, you work at IBM as a manager,
Yes.
data science manager, but after work, after I don't know 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., you work on your side projects.
Yes, exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
during weekend, and it was great because in December I had a lot of holidays, so I worked a lot on my project.
Yeah, I know in France you get a lot of holidays, right? A lot of vacation days.
Yes, we have quite a lot.
Yeah, so that's a good country for indie hacking, right?
Yes.
So indie, I guess, means independent, right? So that's the part that you said that you don't get any funding from anyone. You just start working on a project and then you see what happens. And the goal that you have is monetizing this project, earning money with this project.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't cost a lot. It's just servers, but we don't need funding.
Mm-hmm. Or
So,
why
yes.
hacking? Why hacking though? So indie is independent, but why hacking? Why not just indie, I don't know, projects or indie work? Or
Yeah,
hacking is more attractive, or what?
I'm not the one who invented this word, to be honest. I reuse it. I don't know. Some people say indie maker. Some others say bootstrappers. So there are different synonyms, and well, I don't know, but I use it.
Some time ago, I was into games, and in games there was also this concept of indie developers. So usually there is like when you have a game, then you work with some sort of a publisher, right? So who then promotes the game, distributes it, right? But there are some indie developers who don't rely on these publishers on these networks. So they just create a game and then they use their own channels for distribution. I guess it's kind of a similar idea, but here, like instead of funding, you have independent channels, right?
Yes.
Okay. And tell us about your projects that you do as a part of your indie hacking.
Yeah, so everything started with Cryptopy. That is my first project. Actually, Cryptopy was at the very beginning. It was me. I did some trading of crypto, and I noticed some patterns in charts. And I was like, okay, that could be great to automate something that could tell me whenever a crypto react in some way. I was trading with technical indicators, and so at this time, it was I think 5 years ago. I hadn't very much development skills. So it was 2 years ago. During the COVID, we couldn't. We were allowed to travel in France, but we had to be there on night. At home, it was. I think it's called ceasefire in English. Not sure. Yeah, curfew. No,
Maybe.
curfew.
Yeah.
I think it's curfew. So yes, and I visited some friends, and one of them is developer. So I told her, hey, do you want to work with me on this project? Because it really took a lot of time to trade. And she said yes. So we built our own solution to be alerted whenever a crypto matches our strategy. And we used it. We also automated some parts to trade, but we used it for a year and it was very profitable. And so I thought, okay, it's great for us. So maybe we can also offer it to others. So we launched an offer of alerting in crypto. Yeah, it was in September that we launched the offer.
Okay, so first you use it for your own, only for yourself, right? So you use it for trading crypto, and it wasn't public, right? So just you and your friend used it,
Yes,
but
exactly.
but then you thought it could be useful for others too, and then you made it public.
Exactly. We used it privately, and but the company was created in January of last year. But in September we launched the offer, and it wasn't a success at all.
It
But
wasn't.
no. It's very hard because this is not my audience. I don't know a lot of traders, so it's hard to be known in this domain. And it's okay. I mean, we built it for us, so we learn from it. But that was the beginning, and then we say, okay, but we launched one offer. Why not launch something else?
But at
And
least you made money with this tool, anyways, for your own trading.
yes,
Okay, so that
that's
was useful, anyways.
yes.
And yeah, you said it wasn't successful at the end, but I'm still curious, like between the time you realized that it's useful for others and the time when you actually launched it, what happened?
What happened?
Like, how did it go from like, what did you do exactly
Okay.
From that moment, you said in January you opened the company, you started the company, right? But then you were doing something in other months, right? Between January and September. So what did you
Yes.
do there?
Between January, in January, we created the company because it was better for us to have money in common. We used both our system on our side, so we had to maintain two systems, which was a bit time consuming. And so we decided to create one company in order to join our investing money and maintain only one solution. So that's why. And then I think it was in August that we say, okay, we can launch an offer. And it was very quick to transform it to an offer because everything was coded. So we just had to do a landing page and a bit of legals, things like that. But it wasn't. It didn't take much time.
And what did you use for the landing page?
What did I use?
And what is this? Maybe can you tell us what it is? Why do you need a landing page? Like, isn't just it's enough to just create like the app and expect people to join it?
But you need by landing pages of our website. I mean, if the app, it's not an app on the mobile or things like that. So you have to, like, people have to know about it. So we created a landing page, and I created from scratch. I think I had on my side because I already built some websites, so I reused a lot and changed, of course, the content, images, etc. But
so you just use something like Bootstrap, I guess, and then put some text there and like a button, sign up here, right? That's what the landing page is.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so you did this, and then you also said that you needed to take care of some legal part. So what was there? What did you need to take care of?
Yes, because we didn't use it was a product to monetize, so you have to take care of doing, I don't know, the privacies or terms of use, things like that. And also you have to think about, okay, if I want to monetize, I also need a payment system. So find it and integrate it to our app. Yes, that kind of things that you don't have to think about if you build it for only yourself.
Okay, so this privacy policy and all these things, I guess. So you don't want to get sued, right? If somebody loses money.
Yes, no, I don't. So we say we are not advice or at first we wanted to let people automate their trade, but it's very complicated, so we don't. We just let people say their strategy, and they are alerted when the crypto match their strategy.
And what does your friend do? Is she also in data science, or she's a developer?
No, she's a Java developer.
Java developer. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this what you used for Cryptopy? Java?
No, we used we used Python because I wanted to be able to modify the code, and also because with Python there is a framework that you can use for web development. It's called Flask. So we used it, but we could also have used Java and do some front with this, but this is not a technology I know. So yes, we use Python, and the last there is one feature that she did in Java.
I see. So you both work on everything, or how do you split responsibilities between the two of you?
So for Cryptopy, I think at first it was equally for the development. And then when we say we thought about doing an offer for people, so to launch our offer, we split it, and she does the development, and I'm more in the marketing part. and trying to find relationships, etc.
So what do you do in marketing? So it's, I guess, mainly promoting, letting people know that this thing exists, right? So you said that you had problems with this. So how did you try to approach that?
Oh yeah, for Cryptopy it was very difficult. And it was also my very first experience because, as you know, my real job, my day job, is in data science, so it's not related to marketing. It can be by exploring some marketing models, but it's not the same as doing a marketing. And yeah, so I try like to join some Facebook groups or Reddit, but I was banned very quickly. So I said, okay, this is not a good approach. So I started Twitter also this summer. So I thought, okay, I could use Twitter to speak to people, and yeah, so I did this. But very quickly, we noticed that it was very difficult to reach an audience for crypto traders. I also contacted a lot of people from crypto, influencers, etc. But well, influencers are very difficult to reach. It's you have to get money to, yeah, but so we couldn't afford it. But so yes, very quickly we said, okay, it will be very difficult to monetize this offer, so we leave it like that, and we will start to build other projects, and that's also when I started UnrealMe.
Before we go into your second project, I'm really curious about that too. Maybe you can mention how much it costs you to maintain this thing, Ryan. So you said you're not actively working on this right now. It's just there, but I guess it's also, you have to pay for hosting and for other things. I'm wondering how expensive it is to just let it run in the background.
Yeah, it cost about about 10 euros a month.
Not that expensive. I guess
No,
it's
that's okay.
well, I guess if more people start using it, it will be more expensive, right?
Yeah, probably, but not that much because yeah, I'm not sure it will be very much more costly because it doesn't use much databases, and yeah, so I don't know.
Okay, and I guess this is from what I see. I saw some other ideas or some other projects in this space of indie hacking. Most of these projects are rather small. They are quite small. They are focused on a specific problem, and yeah, is it the correct observation? So you want
Is it,
to.
sorry?
Most of the projects in indie hacking space, they are very small. They focus on a specific problem, and they don't do much except for solving this particular problem.
Yes. Yes, it's called like a niche market. And yeah, it's a way of yeah, what is this is exact. And so you try to validate an idea. So you start with a small project. If it works, then you invest more time to improve it. And if it doesn't, you have to say, okay, I exit, and you start another one.
So tell us about the other one you had.
Yeah,
Still have.
so I was actually in holidays, and um, I saw DreamBooth, and also someone called Levelcio on Twitter that explained that he built a system to where you can send picture of yourself and it transform it to new pictures. So I was wondering how he did this. So I made some research, and finally I told about it to my friends to start this, and she say yes, let's do the same. So we didn't reinvent the wheel, but we wanted to try it, and so we launched very quickly because it's um, we had most of the development done. So yeah, I think we launched in a few weeks after the idea. So it was a kind of a side project because first because we have our work, and also because we were actually working on a Twitter tool that I hope we will launch very soon.
Okay, so you said that this project, it's called UnrealMe.io, right?
Yes.
So this project, you send a few pictures of yourself, and then what it does, it uses DreamBooth, you said? Like it uses something to create new pictures from the pictures you sent.
Yes.
So, and you said you first saw a tweet and then you thought, okay, I can do this. And then you contacted your friends who liked the idea and you released it in a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
So can you walk us through like what exactly did you do from between seeing this tweet and actually releasing? What did you need to do?
Okay, so first we studied and we were wondering, okay, should we start from scratch with DreamBooth, that it's a library and a model, and should we use it with our own GPU, because as it's fine-tuning images, it uses GPU and it's very expensive. So we had this choice, or otherwise we could use an API to do the fine-tuning. So we choose solution 2 because we want it to be fast. And yeah, so what happened, it's we have this idea, so we have to build a system to do the API calls, and also to store images of the people in case to send it, and to get the result. When the result is done, we have to store it and send the picture to the persons. And also we have this to do, and also to launch, like talking about it in Twitter mainly. But what is fun about it, it's our first sales wasn't on Twitter, and we didn't launch yet. It was because I subscribed to a list of Black Friday, and someone saw it. I don't know how. So yeah, that's fun.
Okay, so I just want to summarize. So first you saw the idea, right? So you saw the idea that there is this algorithm called DreamBooth that takes pictures in and then creates new pictures, and then you liked the results and you wanted to make a project, like a small software as a service project that other people can use. Right? Then what you did, because correct me if I'm wrong, that you found an API that uses this algorithm, and then you built like your project around this API, right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, and then so I guess this is another service that you used, right? So you needed to pay them.
Exactly, yes.
And so this is this is an API, and it doesn't take care of storing images and all that. So what you needed to build was like all these things, like getting images from the API, saving them somewhere, and then sending to the customers, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, you said your first sale came from even before you went live, so you put the link somewhere?
Yes, there was a list of Black Friday deals. It was this week that we launched. So I just subscribed, but I didn't imagine someone would see it, to be honest. And well, yeah, someone saw it.
Okay. And how did you do the launch?
I talk about it on Twitter, and I also use some personal media, like on my personal Instagram or Facebook. But I think mainly all sales came from Twitter, and also the Black Friday sites, because there was other sale from this website.
Okay, so what did you do? Like, how did you announce this on Twitter? Did you just say, okay, this is our new cool project, go check it out, or?
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, I also displayed some picture of myself, saying, so this was done using UnrealMe, and And yes, that's pretty it. Maybe there's some better way, but I'm still learning this job.
Okay. Yeah, I cannot think of a better way, probably. That's the... And you, I guess, also rely on other people sharing their pictures, right?
Sorry?
You also rely on other people sharing the results.
Yes, exactly. Some people share the results. You were one of them. Thank you. and yeah, also it displayed on the website, so other people can have some example in order to see the results. And also, if they want, they can ask the user, is it really working? I don't know, but
yeah, your results were pretty impressive. For my pictures, it didn't work well, but the reason for that is because I just, when I saw that you launched this, I just took my phone, I took a few selfies from different backgrounds, from different angles, and that was it. But I guess you used a lot of different images, right? So it wasn't from one day.
yes, I remember when you tried, I think you had a green shirt. Because on all your results, you have a green shirt. And AI is not magic. I mean, if you send only picture where you are like that, you will be like that on the results. That's yeah, but it's not magic.
So what was the main challenge here for this project? So in the previous project, you said the main challenge was reaching the target audience, the crypto traders, and it's not easy. But what was the main challenge here?
I think the main challenge was also customer acquisition is very hard, but at least with this project, we made some sales, not enough to be ramen profitable, which is a target very famous when you are in the hacking. But I think the main issue was to reach people and also to get some not too high prices. But at the very beginning, it was very difficult because it cost, I think, it was 15 euros per fine tuning. So you had also our costs, so it was difficult to do some low prices, and also it's something that is not very useful. I mean, it's fun to have a picture of yourself in AI, but it can be useful. I know, yeah, you can use it like for professional, for LinkedIn. I know some people use it for Tinder, but it's
That's a nice use case. So somebody actually uses it for Tinder, right?
so that's what he told me. Yes, but
Do you have his testimonial on the website?
sorry.
Do you have his testimonial on the website? Like, okay, like I used this UnrealMe for
No,
Tinder and I found the love of my life.
that
The love of my life. No?
that would be a great story, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I guess in both of these cases, reaching the target audience was the main problem.
Yes.
Is it always the case? Like you build something and you cannot expect that people will just come. You need to proactively promote it.
You have to proactively, yeah. And this is something that is, it's, you really see it when when I made sales. It's every time when I talk about it, it doesn't happen just like that. So yeah, and also another issue is the time, of course. I was lucky for UnrealMe because my friend was still on a maternity leave, so she had time because she was alone at home and sometimes with the baby. But I know that sometimes she had some times, but
Sometimes babies sleep, right?
yes, exactly. And when you are alone, I guess I
You
don't
do
know.
indie hacking.
And but yeah, so having also you think about a lot of features that you can do, but of course we are limited in time.
And what motivates you to do this? Like, why did you even start working on indie hacking? Because you wanted to learn more outside of your job, or what was the main driver for you?
Yeah, I think I enjoy the ideation part, like thinking about things that could be done, and I also like to create. So that's something that motivates me. Yes, and this is very. I think it's in addition to my work because I like my work, but not that you do every time the same at your work because it's very not true, but this is kind of a personal project, and I can work on whatever I want. So I think it's really interesting.
Does it help at your, like, the skills that you acquire through these projects, through indie hacking? Do they help you with your main job?
Actually, yes, because it gave me a new culture. I Before, when I was working, I used my free time before indie hacking. I use my free time to do whatever things, and now this free time I use it also to know more about AI, about data, and so I guess it's profitable for IBM, of course. And also I train myself to new skills, and I think I understand better data engineering now, because even if it's not really the part I'm working on, I learn GCP with this, some part of it, yes.
So you learn GCP, you learn data engineering, you also learn marketing and social media marketing in particular. What else did you learn?
What do I learn? I learned that even if you are a very good developer, without marketing, you are nothing. There is also some indie hackers that say just launch before building. So they do a landing page with a newsletter, and they see if people are interested. And if they do, they build. And I actually met someone who did this, and he validated his idea like that. So yeah, it really depends. And I forgot, sorry, the question at the beginning.
Yeah, so the question was, what kind of new skills did you pick up? So
Uh,
GCP, data engineering, social media marketing, idea validation. What else?
I think that's also quite a lot.
That's already a lot, but maybe there is more.
Probably.
Like you said, you already knew web development to some extent, right? So when you were building the landing pages.
Yes, and also like at first I built the landing page, but that was skill I already had. And after, when we made a few sales, we were able to build some templates. So now for our next project, I can build faster because I have a very nice template already done. Um, because the website I did before was kind of quick to do, but they are not very awesome. At least I don't find them beautiful, but it's the best I did. Because also something I think I learned about new tools, like using more Photoshop. It's a tool I use a lot, but I'm still at the very beginning of learning.
Did you ever need to use Photoshop at IBM?
Sometimes I use it for IBM, yes.
Okay, so I guess this is another useful skill you picked up that you can use at work, right?
Yeah, but I use it not so much for clients, but some for internal projects sometimes, yes.
Okay. And how do you balance your work at IBM with indie hacking? Because is it difficult? Because I guess like at work, like if you work from 9 to 5, then at the end you might be exhausted, and then you have other projects to work on. So how do you find energy to do this?
I think it's like every patient. I mean, you. if I told you I love horses, do I said equitation? I'm not sure about the word. Is it
Horses,
correct?
yeah. I guess
Horses. Yeah,
horses.
if I told you I love to do horses, um, then you say, okay, wow, that's a passion. It's great. Or I love dancing. I do 2 hours every 2 days, etc. It's very common to have hobbies like that. Mine is a building project, so
Mhm.
I don't see it as exhausting. For me, it's like I'm motivated to work on it actually. So it's not okay. My work day is finished. Oh, I have to work again. I don't see it as a work.
Mhm.
And I think it's essential. Like if you want to do Hindi hacking, in addition to your work, you have to be passionate about it.
Okay, so that's your hobby, right? It gives you energy. So at the end of the working day, you might be tired, but you start working on your side projects and you get energy from this.
Yes. And if I don't, I just
You
don't
don't,
do the, yeah, I
because you
just,
don't have to, right?
because, sorry,
You don't have to
I
work
don't
on
have
this.
to, I don't, yeah, there
That's
is no
where,
pressure.
yeah, that's where the independent, uh, this indie part comes into place, right? So you don't own anything anyone, right? So because you don't have funding, you don't have investors, then nobody is pushing you to actually work except for only
Yes.
you. I see.
I think it could be different if I had a successful
Hmm.
service used by a lot of users. Probably there is some client support, and
Yeah, right.
we could have to manage time, but this is not our case. So
Mhm.
we'll see later for
Yeah.
that.
Okay. And I saw a tweet from you. So that it was a reply. So the tweet that you replied to was, do you have a list of micro SaaS ideas? And you replied that, of course, there are many on your list.
Yeah.
So maybe can you tell us, first of all, what is a micro SaaS? It's micro software as a service, right? What is this? Is this what we discussed, right? So all these things that you build are micro software as services projects.
Yeah, I don't know if the term micro is important or, but yeah, I have a lot of ideas. I have my Notion list with a to-do list, but of course I won't build them all. But yeah, what I have as an idea is to um I work on a project. If it works, well, that's cool. I can improve it. If it doesn't, I start a new one. So as I said, and now I'm working on some Twitter tools to make better analytics of your data. Um, so this is one I will launch. There is other on then there are other on my list. I won't tell, not because it's confidential, but because I don't know if I will launch one day. And there is one actually I can tell you about, is a blog creation. It's called aboutstartup.io, and this is very new. I do the launch today. You will probably see a
Mm.
tweet. And the idea of it is I wanted to interview other people that do indie hacking or that build some companies, or even if it's a small one, but in order to inspire people and also say there is not only successful people. It takes time and it's okay. When you start to do indie hacking, you shouldn't think, okay, I will be a millionaire at the end of the year or something like that. I think this is not good um, a good way to think because it's very hard. And yes, so I want to share some story, and this is something I wanted to do for a long time. So I just started.
Okay, great. Looking forward to seeing this. But this is a blog post, right? Oh, this is a blog, right? So
Yeah, it's a
a website with a bunch of articles. It's not a software as a service thing.
no, yes, exactly. I'm not.
Mhm. So how can you earn money with this? Or it's more like a just fun project
I think
without.
it's fun project, but also there is some people. There are some people that earn money with blogs.
Mhm,
There is several ways. It's like imagine you have a blog. You talk about cars a lot, so you can find sponsor.
mhm,
I would say, okay, I am a car. Can you write an article about my car?
mhm,
So that's a way of earning money. You can also monetize with ads or also with affiliation.
mhm.
That's several ways.
I see. Interesting. Well, you said you don't want to talk about particular ideas that you have on the list, and that's understandable. But maybe you can tell us how these ideas ended up on your list. Like where do you get ideas from?
Yeah, so sometimes I'm trying to do something and I say, oh, but this doesn't work well. How can I do something else? Exactly like Cryptopy. I was on my computer looking at chart. Say, oh, this take me too much time. How can I reduce this time? So I Google it and I didn't find any solution to fix my problem. So I said, okay, it doesn't exist. I will build it
Hmm.
because I have the skills also because uh, I mean, if I don't like the bread in my city, I I won't create my bread.
I see. So it mainly comes from your frustrations or from the limitations of other tools. So there is a tool that solves a problem, but it doesn't solve it in a way that you want. And you see, okay, like it's possible to make it better, and you take this idea down. You take a note of this.
Yes, exactly. That's
Mhm,
exactly what we did. The exception is for UnrealMe. It was really just because uh, we saw other competitors that validated the ID and say, okay, maybe we can earn a few money with it.
mhm.
So that was different.
Okay. So what are your plans? So you said you are about to launch this about startup.io today,
Yeah,
right? Then you have a Twitter analytics tool.
yeah.
Mm, what else should we expect from you in the future? Or you don't know yet, or
I
you
don't
won't tell
know.
us? Okay.
I don't know yet. It depends. It depends, you know. I also, when because I like to share my results, and not only, hey, I'm successful, but also, as I said, you have to show failure. I think I like to be transparent. And doing this, there is one person that contacted me and say, okay, about Cryptopy, I have a crypto audience. Can you do a telegram for me when every time I trade, my audience see what I bought
Hmm.
or sold? And so this is the kind of opportunity that you don't expect at first, but this happened.
Hmm. Okay, interesting. So what you say is you plan to work on your existing projects a little bit, and then maybe there are some new ideas that you will have, and maybe you will launch them too, right?
Yes, and it's I think it's very common that you have an idea and then you start to build it and you say, oh, okay, maybe I can do differently, and so you change your mind.
Hmm. And the way you do this, so let's say you have an idea on this list that you haven't started working on yet. So how do you go from this idea on the list to actually launching it? What are the steps?
I think first also I talk with my friends and we evaluate if there is really a need. If there is a lot of competitors, for example, then we don't want to build just to build. Again, except maybe for UnrealMe, but because we could build it very quickly. So yeah, we evaluate and we say, okay, do I need this? Yes. Will other people will need it? Probably. And do we have the skills to do it? Yes. So okay, we can build it.
Mhm. What
That's
about
what happened
evaluating?
actually.
Sorry?
Sorry.
Yeah, please go.
No, that's what happened also with the Twitter tools, because I so I tweet a lot, and I see that the Twitter analytics tool is very bad. At least I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's helpful, but there is a lot of information I can get from it. So I wanted my own tool. I know some other tool exist, but they all have a different offer, and I think I offer something different. At least I build it on my own way.
Mm-hmm. See. Yeah, interesting. And yeah, so since you mentioned Twitter, and you also said, correct me if I'm wrong, that you started your Twitter account in summer last year, summer 2022, right? And now you recently tweeted that you have 10,000 followers. So it means like you got 10,000 followers in half a year, right?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
a very impressive result. So how did you do this?
I think I started this in June, and I had 11 followers because I had the account for a few years, but I didn't use Twitter before. I guess one day I subscribed and never came back. And yes, this summer I had an interesting conversation with someone who told me about personal branding, and also because he created some companies too, and he told me if you create one project and you create an Instagram for this project, then you create another project, you can put in trash the audience that you built for the first one. And I wanted a continuity. The common things between all your projects is you, actually. So I say, okay, that's true, and I want to show to people. I want to share with people what I do. So I do data, I do indie hacking. So I'm talking about both, and it seems people like it. So
Yeah, otherwise they wouldn't follow you, right?
sorry.
Otherwise, they would not
Yeah,
follow you
yes.
if they didn't like it
Or maybe they click
accidentally.
wrongly, but
But yeah, accidentally maybe one or two, but not 10,000.
I hope so.
Well, what do you think people in your posts like more? Posts about data science or posts about indie hacking or something else?
I think it works better with data science because people can more identify to it. When I share like courses or some use cases, I know I think I got more interaction from it. But I don't build my Twitter only strategically. So indie hacking is an important part of my life, and I want to share about it. So I choose not to go all in on data and to talk about the two subjects.
Mm-hmm. And I see that there is a question from Kevin. The question asks if there is any way to connect with you. So, are your DMs in Twitter open?
Yes, you
Okay, so
can.
then we will have your Twitter account. We will have the link to your Twitter account in the description, and then you can just contact Pauline. And also, you are in the Data Talks Club Slack, right? So that's another way to contact you.
Yes, I had some times before successfully connect but it was very personal. It was because of my computer, but
Mhm.
at the end I reached it. Yeah.
You don't use Slack at IBM, do you?
Yes, we do,
Uh-huh.
and that was exactly the point. I thought I couldn't. I thought it was a conflict if I use Slack
Mhm.
for other not IBM spaces, but actually it works. So
Mhm.
that's
Okay,
great.
good. Because you recently posted, you made a post in general saying Happy New Year, right? Something like that.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So thank you. Happy New Year too. Okay, and then another question from Kevin is if you know Pieter Levels. Do you know who Pieter Levels is?
Yeah, I know him, but not personally. I mean, I saw his account. Yeah.
Okay. What does he do?
Oh, he do. He is an inspiration. He's an indie hacker that built, I think, around 70 projects, and a few of them became successful. And I think one of his first, I'm not sure if it's the first. No, it's not the first successful. I think he built one project that is called Interior AI. Sorry for the English accent, but it's a website where you can generate by AI some new interior for your apartment.
Interior.io, you said, right?
Oh, I'm not sure about the link.
Maybe you'll just send
So
us the link later.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you send a picture of your apartment and it generates new decorations. So he's the one I was talking earlier. I got the inspiration for UnrealMe. He was the one I saw his project was working, and I said, okay, it works for him. Why not me? Or why not me? Why don't I try it? So I tried it.
Okay, cool.
But I wasn't as successful, of course, but because he had a big audience, and he was the first, and he did it very well. So.
But I guess also for Pieter, like he maybe wasn't successful from the first attempt. Probably took a few trials before something took off, right?
Yeah, yes, he shared a list recently. I think it was 70 projects that he did. And I think he make a living of 4 of them, maybe 5, I don't know.
Okay, so if you shoot many arrows, then a couple of them will hit the target, right?
Sorry?
If you shoot a lot of arrows to your target, then a few of them probably will hit it, even if you're a bad archer.
Yeah, I think the more you build, the more chances you have to be successful.
Do you have any book or other resource that you can recommend to the listeners?
About data, there is a 2 words data science that I really love because it's a blog where they share a lot of use case of data, something I read really frequently. And but I don't read much, so I don't have a lot of books yet to recommend. And I can, if you want inspiration about indie hacking, of course, about startup.io is very cool.
Okay, so that's the resource you recommend to check, because I guess for when we will release this recording as a podcast about startup.io will already be live. So we will also include the link in the description. So that's the resource you should go to if you want to learn more about indie hacking. Cool. Anything else you wanted to talk about but we forgot to mention?
I think we talk about pretty much everything.
Okay, then I guess we should be wrapping up. So thanks, Pauline. Was a pleasure having you here. Finally, like we postponed the stream a couple of times. Finally, we met. Again, we had some technical difficulties, so this time we used StreamYard. But yeah, the important thing is we actually did this finally. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks for sharing your experience. As you said, it's very important to share the experience, even though some things didn't work maybe in the way you expected them to work, but it's still important to share this. So thanks for doing this.
Thank you for inviting me. It was very great to be here, and it was my very first podcast, to be honest.
That's cool. So you will remember this.
I did one, but without the video.
Okay. Second, well, it's also fine. Yeah. Okay, then thanks, Pauline. Thanks, everyone, and see you soon.
See you. Goodbye.
Happy New Year. Bye.